Hey guys.
I think you're muted.
Oh, me.
No, me.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, okay.
I'll do that.
Steve, I told you if you take yourself out of the stream, it'll mute you.
All right. I don't know.
I don't know why it does that. I notice a lot, like uh, for some reason. But sorry, go ahead.
I don't know.
Or you want me to go
I don't
tell
know.
Jamie to be quiet?
Can you hear him barking?
Oh, a little bit. It ain't no
Uh,
big deal.
All right, he'll just bark. He's been on a mad tear lately.
Yeah,
Uh,
must be a female on heat or something.
I that would be nice, but I doubt it. That that would make sense.
It's none of our females.
No.
So.
All right, so we might not have anybody watching because I didn't put anything out, but that's at least live anyway. So that's that's live.
I think they've gotten used to us having these though.
Well, we got one, but
Yeah.
so we'll go with recently watched. We'll go with Dirk first, and I'm gonna go smack a dog. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah. And if you're watching this, on the replay or whatever, just remember the future is now. But anyway, I know that made no sense, but I seldom ever do. But that's what my wife tells me anyway. Yeah. So the first one we're going to talk about is a dragonfly for each corpse.
yeah.
A good old Paul Nashy Spanish jolly.
Hey, Paul Nashy doing his Columbo impression.
Yeah, you got a cigar and shit. And,
does he get women in this one?
Well, he's got a woman, I guess.
He's got a woman, Erica Blanc, is in it. And it's kind of crazy because they got like this heartfelt relationship, like he's such an asshole to everybody else. But with her, he's like cooking spaghetti. He's got an apron on and shit. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so this killer's, the director's Leon Klimovsky. He directed Werewolf versus Vampire Woman. And he also directed Trauma from 1978. It's not a very good one, I don't think, but it's just
that's the Giallo?
Yeah,
that's in the box set. Yeah.
With the one with the weird rider with the colorful scarf.
Oh yeah.
But
I kind of like that one. I didn't mind that one.
I don't care for it because I don't know, just easily figured out kind of do it. But anyway, so there's a killer going around. He's like killing pimps, people that he considers immoral. I guess like homosexuals, prostitutes, just all kind of damn people he's killing. And he leaves a handmade dragonfly soaked in their blood. So I thought that's kind of cool, the calling card. But yeah. So yeah, man, I highly recommend this one. It's a high recommend Spanish Giallo. Have y'all seen that one?
Yeah, it's been a little while, but yeah.
It's a fun one too, though. Even though I figured it out like about halfway through, I still had a lot of fun with it. I mean, you get 2 dummy fall deaths. So it's all. I always love dummy fall deaths. So all kinds of shit. It's a little mixture of Policio-tesky too, I'd say. But so that was the first one, and then we're gonna go into some madness.
I know I've been waiting for this. This one is crazy, man. You've got to see this if you both have it.
But is that the one that is like the only thing available is like a bad VHS rip?
Oh, Dragonfly?
Oh, I thought you said Madness.
No. Oh, I said we're going to go into some madness.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And Steve may have seen this one, so I'll let to take it away.
This is a 2019 film. Kind of tripped me out because it's a 2019 film, but it's called The Golden Glove. And it's about a serial killer in Germany. And it's a true story, too, based on a true story.
Yeah.
About a serial killer in Hamburg, Germany, a guy named Fritz Hanke. And he killed like 4 women between 1970 and 1975. And he stored their body parts in a crawl space in his wall. and he lived at the top floor of an apartment building. But it's weird because his apartment's like in an attic. It's so weird. But and it's
Google him now, Fritz.
Yeah,
Fritz
Honker.
Honker.
Yeah,
and look at him.
That guy looks weird.
Oh yeah, man. And he's like the nastiest. I think he's like something. I think he's kind of thrown off a little bit, like a 3-neck goat, you know. And he's greasy, filthy. He lives in filth. He picks up like these drunk, alcoholic, homeless women that are obese, and they're like some of the nastiest women you ever see. It's just holy shit.
I mean, it's like a documentary. He smacks the shit out of him. It looks completely real.
It does. It looks real.
There's one scene. He's got this 50, 60-year-old prostitute. So he just, for no reason, just bangs the shit out of her, right? And then she ends up leaving. And then we hear the door knocking in, like this little knock on the door. And he goes, "What do you want?" And she comes in and she goes, "I want my teeth."
Yeah,
she was really punched her. Her fucking teeth had come across the floor. It is disturbing. But
it's not supposed to be funny, but I mean, I don't know.
No. We were laughing. I mean, the whole film is disturbing, but I mean, I think it's a must watch for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, he's awkwardly having sex with these women, so he can't. He's got like porno magazine pictures all over his walls and shit. So like these women are so disgusting that he'll run into the next room and look at a picture on the wall and start doing his thing and then try to get. I was like, holy shit.
I mean, the one woman as well, she gets some kind of, I think it's like curry powder or something, and puts it on his dick so it starts burning. And it's like, honestly, I feel like this film has got to be seen to be believed.
Yeah,
it's so realistic. Honestly, it's like watching Texas Chainsaw.
It says it's on Tubi, so.
Oh, it's on Tubi.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okay.
I just looked it up. So.
And if you do, I would highly recommend go on YouTube and download or watch the documentary, the real life documentary, because there's a few more even like added bits to it, and I'm like, shit, this guy was, oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, but yeah. So that, you know, that's two, and then I got one more from 1946, The Spiral Staircase.
Oh yeah,
which great film. Is my first time seeing it. I mean, it's so it's directed by Robert Siodmak. I think that's how you say his name. I think the three actresses in it is what makes the movie, though. Dorothy McGuire is playing a mute woman, Helen. And you got Rhonda Fleming, who's like, I thought she was Scarlett from Gone with the Wind. She looks like her though, because I had to look her up. I was like, what the hell is Scarlett doing in here? But
I thought. She got dark hair. I thought, well, it's black and white, so you can't see. I always thought she was a redhead, but I don't remember.
Right. And then she's playing this Blanche woman, and then Ethel Barrymore, the old lady in the movie. She's amazing. She's amazing, man. She tripped me out. But what is it? Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Darren's hat. Fuck the UK. Yeah.
I don't know where this person got the idea that these are clean streams. I mean,
well, I think he may be kidding.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Clean it.
What is he?
I took a shower. That's how clean it is.
What's his name? Barney the Canker Sore.
Cantankerous, I think. But...
Okay, I don't know. My bad. Yeah. So then you got there's a serial killer going around killing these women with disabilities, and Helen is mute.
Oh, well, yeah.
She's mute from an early trauma, and I was like, damn. So think about all the other films that has that shit, like they go mute from trauma, like Thriller, and there's other films too, Miss 45. Yeah, man, it's just great, man. Great acting, atmosphere, the cinematography. Yeah, I can't say enough. I like how the transition. This is from 46. I like how the transitions go from scene to scene, it like bleeds off into an eye, and the dude's like looking. You see, it focuses in on the eye from a closet. You know, he's looking out a closet or some shit. Kind of gives me the Black Christmas vibes and shit. Like, I don't know, maybe if damn, Bob, what's his damn name?
Clark.
Bob Clark.
Yeah, Bob Clark. Yeah, I wondered if he's seen this movie or something. But anyway, yeah. That's my three, man.
Yeah, they remade it in like the late 70s with Jackie Bissett.
Okay.
As the mute, but
they even did one in 2000 as well, which is really bad.
Oh shit. Okay.
But
I highly recommend this one. And you also, I forgot to mention early in the film when you see the killer, he looks like almost like he's dressed the same as like Blood and Black Lace.
Yeah.
In the darkness and it's raining and shit.
It's weird because like in the 30s you can almost see the aesthetic of a 30s movie, but when we got into the 40s is when they start coming up with more stylized shots and music and everything brought together. So
yeah, I recommend though.
There's a kill in that. I think I said that on one of the other streams, but there's this woman and she's trying to get undressed, and it's exactly like ripped from like Tenebrae. You know, when she's got the t-shirt over her head and the killer strikes.
Oh, great.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so we'll go to Dirk next. I'm sorry, Darren.
I was like, hold on, I gotta
let's go back. Let's go back to Dirk again. I'm sure he's forgot one.
Yeah, I got.
No, he can come up with
talk
three.
about.
Sorry.
So first one up.
Up.
we did actually get to watch Cruising this week, which was fun for me, but not for him.
No, not so much for me.
But we did a Rape Revenge last night stream, and I saw Irreversible for the first time.
Oh
man, that film, and I know Dana loves I Spit on Your Grave and all that, but I mean the rape scene in Irreversible is probably like 20 times worse. It's the worst one I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
It is bad if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it goes on for like 20 minutes solid. And it's like, it's all one take. You know? So it's pretty hard.
And the camera was like on the floor as well, wasn't it? So you could see everything. And it just looked like so realistic. I mean, the violence early on as well. The guy with a fire extinguisher smashing that. Yeah, oh man. I just, it's not a film I would enjoy or I could recommend to people, but I think everyone should like watch it once.
I got the straight cut where they, this movie is told kind of backwards.
Yeah.
But they took it. I think an extra on recent release was they, like Memento, they put it in chronological order. Chronological order.
Right. Yeah.
Which I would probably check that out again just to see.
Right.
If you watch the original cut, at least it has a happy ending.
Oh. Well, that's good.
Because it goes back to the start. Anyway, my bad there.
That's all right. Yeah. Next one I saw was the Icebox Murders.
Yeah.
Which is called El Cipo, starring Jack Taylor. This was fucking wild, I tell you. So you've got this rich, eccentric, like cripple. He offers big money to prostitutes to stay with him for the weekend, in like this holiday country home. She brings another prostitute with her. Like her friend realizes this guy, there's something creepy about this guy. So basically you've got Jack Taylor, and he plays a dual role. And I don't want to give anything away, but he plays a dual role. And the only way they can disguise him from being this other character is they put a wig on him and shave off his mustache and take off his glasses. But I mean, you can tell straight away it's just Jack Taylor. Like, how these like prostitutes in this film didn't realize. But it plays out like it's more like a slasher than I would say giallo. Hell of a lot of fun. There's like a dream sequence with on an overnight train. This woman dreams up like Jack Taylor's killing all these women, which is brilliant. But Yeah, and I think it was the first film to do the head in a box, like before Seven as well. So I wondered whether anyone had seen that.
What
But
year was that?
it was 1982.
Oh, well, Dragonfly for Each Corpse has a head in the box too.
Well,
Oh God, yeah, that was 74 as well, wasn't it? So yeah,
did
so
the
that answers the
X-ray
question.
have a head in a box with Barbie Benton? That had a head.
It may well have,
I
yeah.
like that, Damon.
Huh?
Nothing.
Stop messing with the layout.
And last but not least, I got to see Rabid Dogs for the first time. Mario Bava film. I watched it under like Kidnapped because I think there's like 2 versions in there. So you got these like at the start you got this armed robbery going on. They take this like 2 women hostage, and it's kind of a road movie. It's got the guy from Absurd, Luigi Montefiore, George Eastman. I think you probably know him more.
32.
What's that?
His name's 32 in the movie.
32 because of the size of his dick, basically.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's actually said in the film.
Yeah.
30. What is it? 32 centimeters or?
I'm not sure, but
how they measure shit in Italy, I don't know.
I know the guy starred in porn in real life. He's done real life porn, so I would imagine it's pretty true. But you got this guy in it, Blade. He's played like by a poor man's like Thomas Millian, which is kind of funny. But it's exactly that kind of role. And the whole twist, I don't think anyone would guess the twist at the end, which I think was superb.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's an Italian crime film. There's lots of like violence. They make this woman piss her pants, and I know this was after Last House on the Left, but they also got this boy. This boy is dying in the back of the car, and they need to get him to hospital. So it's very like mean spirited as well. But I think it's one of the best Italian crime films I've seen so far, and I need to see more. But
have you seen they did a remake like 2010 or something, I think.
Of that.
Dog. Oh, really? Shit. I know that film was put on the shelf.
Well, it wasn't finished. Some of that they just kind of put together. There's one scene where someone's crying on the phone. You kind of see. I don't even know if that was. I think that was filmed later, because it seemed a little bit didn't fit the rest of the way the other parts of the film looked.
And it sure as hell don't feel like a Mario Bava at all. It's so sleazy and just way different than anything he did.
I was surprised to see it on YouTube as well. So if anyone's interested, you can get it for free.
Yeah.
But that's the ones I've seen. Yeah.
All right, here we go. The big one, Dana Lynn.
No, I'm gonna try to be quick. So, I recently went back and watched a couple of I guess what you would call possession movies, which are really the only movies that get under my skin now, unless it's a caller inside the house, which that for me that only works in the old school ones. Steve.
Yeah, because of telephones.
Mm-hmm. Now we've got cell phones, and it just doesn't, seem to work as well. But possession films really get under my skin. So the 2 that I went back and recently rewatched was Atticus Institute, which, if you have not seen that, I think I could fully recommend it to almost anybody.
What's it called?
Atticus.
The Atticus Institute.
Atticus? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And what it's about is it's supposed to take place in the 70s. And see, that distracts me a lot when I can't see people.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, they did a good job with making it look like the 70s with the clothing and just the way it was filmed and all that. But there's a place called the Atticus Institute, and they set it up like it's a real place. And one of the actors that was in this said that he even went up and went and tried to look up the Atticus Institute because it just seemed so real, that they thought, well, there must have been a place like this. But what they do is they study like things like ESP and telekinesis and stuff like that. And they hadn't really been able to find anybody with these exceptional talents. They thought that they had a guy, and it turned out that he was working with somebody else, and so they were faking it.
Faking it until you make it.
Yeah.
So the head of
So
the Atticus Institute was just crushed when that happened because he thought he had found his person. Steve,
It was
what do
kind
you
of like
think?
Ed and Lorraine Warren.
I mean, I guess kind of.
This
like
is more
that.
in a clinical
Okay. Like
environment. Like,
science.
yeah, they got
Yeah.
like their own. Yeah, got their own little center there.
Yeah. So it's almost like a documentary or a mockumentary because they go and supposedly talk to the head uh, doctor's wife and his kids, and they were talking about how things were when they were growing up and stuff like that. But it there a woman comes to them. Her sister brings her, and we find out that Steve, stop, huh? But her sister, we find out, brings her there because she's acting weird.
Weird.
And she's, doing bizarre things and stuff like that. And so,
You like them yet?
Steve, come on.
Sorry.
You're delaying the time that I get done.
Okay.
For this.
Speak through it.
Okay. So anyway, we find out that her sister just basically wants to get rid of her. So she brings her to the Atticus Institute and tells them that she thinks that they would be interested in the abilities her sister has. So they start studying her. They start doing the things with the cards where they can't see the cards. But
Is this
they
your
ask,
card?
No, Steve, like with the
I'm sorry.
waving lines and stuff like that. But she gets more and more odd. When she first comes there, it's almost like she's got anxiety or that she's really nervous or something like that. But then she starts being able to read their minds and know stuff that's happened to them personally. And she tells the one woman at the institute, she looks at her, and they're doing this thing where you draw a picture of something, and she's supposed to tell you what the, or no, you think of something and she's supposed to draw it. So she ends up drawing a 4-leaf clover or a shamrock.
We guessed each other's drawing.
Okay, Steve, I got it. But anyway, so she draws a shamrock, and then she looks at the woman across the table and she says, "You weren't there." And the girl gets upset and attacks her. And it's because her mother wore a shamrock pendant all the time. And her mother passed away in the last few years, and the daughter did not make it home for her funeral. So that woman was telling her, "You weren't there when she died."
There.
And she drew the shamrock because she knew that was what she would know that it had something to do with her mother.
You weren't there.
It gets more and more bizarre. She like bites her own hand during one of the tests they're doing, and she's got blood running down her arm and stuff, and then she starts laughing.
She's like possessed?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Basically, they're trying to use, they're basically trying to use this possessed woman to like remote view stuff and get secrets and all kinds of.
The government gets
that's
involved
what's going on,
and they want to use her as a weapon, but that's
Okay.
not what these main doctors did.
So kind of like Aleister Crowley, trying to talk to demons and angels and shit, or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is mainly just this one person's, whatever entity is in there. They're trying to use it for military purposes, which doesn't go well.
Yeah, it does not end well, but really creepy little film. If you like possession movies, I think you'll like this one.
I wrote it down. I'm gonna check it out.
The other one is also a possession movie, and that's The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Okay, yeah, I started that. I've never seen it all the way.
Yeah, you need to finish that one, Dirk, because that one gets under your skin too. And the strange thing for me, because I could never imagine her playing a role like this, but the lady that played Opal in All My Children, if you ever watched the soap opera All My Children, she played Opal.
I know my wife would know.
Just ask her who Opal was in the. But anyway, she plays a older woman that is seeming to suffer from Alzheimer's. But then it soon turns out that it's something more malicious. She's actually being possessed by a guy who killed children, who was a child murderer.
Oh, shit.
You know, they bring these people in, these college students who the main girl is doing her thesis on Alzheimer's. And Steve, I see your mouth moving. But I don't know why he does this to me and only me like this. But anyway, so they're there to study and film and interview her. But she gets out of bed in the middle of the night, and somehow they see it on film. She jumps from the floor, and this is an old woman. She jumps from the floor to the countertop, and they see this on the film.
Shit.
She there's one scene where she's staring out the window, and you know something's gonna happen, and the daughter goes up to her and says, "Mom, are you all right?" And she turns around and she screams, and she just rips the skin off her throat.
Damn.
And there's just all kinds of very, I guess, visceral scenes.
Isn't it like Alzheimer's kind of angle too?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is like creepy though, because I've seen people with Alzheimer's, and that shit creeped me out, man. Like some of the shit they've said, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know. But anyway, sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. So the last one I wanted to talk about, and I actually saw 3 of them, but I'm not going to talk about all 3 of them. But I've been doing a series of streams on Robert Englund's filmography. And so I'm getting a chance to go back and watch a lot of his old stuff, like the real early stuff.
His early funny stuff.
Yeah, like Eaten Alive.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten to Eaten Alive, but that'll be the next stream that I do. We'll
His name Buck in that one.
And everybody knows what he likes to do too. So, but anyway, one of them I watched. Robert Englund, unfortunately, wasn't in the movie till the end, and he plays a guy that's robbing a liquor store, basically. But the movie itself is really, really good, and I can't believe I hadn't heard of it. It's called Hustle, and it has Burt Reynolds in it as a cop. Catherine Deneuve is in it as his girlfriend, and she's a hooker, and she must do phone sex stuff, because there's a couple of scenes where he's in her apartment with her, and she's on the phone talking to guys, and she's saying, "Oh yeah, I like that," and stuff like that. So it's like a phone sex thing. And there is one scene that goes batshit crazy where they basically pretty much beat the shit out of each other. He slaps her across the face. She picks up a vase or something and hits him in the head with it. And they're calling each other names, and then they end up having sex. And that, the fight's over after that. But the movie is, and Eddie Albert is in this damn thing. And Eddie Albert plays this, like, he's almost like a crime boss, but he's a lawyer too. But he's messing around with these strippers and hookers and stuff like that. And he's getting them to do adult films, like, girl on girl stuff and things like that. And then he also gets these girls set up with buddies of his, so they'll have sex with them.
Ooh.
And he,
Damn.
he has sex.
I'm going to Hooterville then.
Yeah, you're going
So he's like a pimp.
Yeah, basically. He's real slimy in this. It's the slimiest role I ever seen Eddie Albert in.
Damn. So he's a lawyer, pimp.
Yeah, he's a lawyer too, but not. Yeah.
He can get himself out of prison,
Yeah.
or jail.
You got
So-
everything covered.
So this girl washes up on the beach, and they find out that she had killed herself. But we also found out she was a hooker, she was a stripper, and she was involved with Eddie Albert and his buddies. So basically, what Burt Reynolds' character is trying to do is find out what's causing, what caused the death of this girl. Ultimately, I mean, she committed suicide, but they need to find out why, who was involved. And Ben Johnson is in this movie too, and he plays the girl that kills herself. He plays her father. Eileen Brennan is in it as well. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people in here, and she plays the girl's mother. But
Is it called? This is called The Tussle.
Hustle.
Hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They made a sequel called Hustle and Flow.
I don't
Later.
Oh,
know.
oh yeah, I've seen that.
But then, as if the movie wasn't good enough, it had a really gritty, Dirty Harry feel to it. Even though Burt Reynolds isn't quite as gritty as Clint Eastwood in the Dirty Harry movies, but it just kind of had that feel to me of those types of films. And then, of course, the icing on the cake, you get Robert Englund at the end. And I don't want to give away the ending because, people might not have seen this movie. It's from 1975, I believe.
Okay.
Too,
Yeah.
So.
This sounds like exploitation, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of way?
Or is it like
kind of.
high, like big budget shit, or you
No, I don't think this was big budget.
think? Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
But I'm done now, Steve.
All right. Well, I've only got a couple. We watched The Shining 4K, which looked good.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the best it's going to look probably, I guess.
Yeah. It's the best 4K, I think. Out of what I got. I don't know.
Shoot. I can't
Are you
remember.
forgetting?
Yeah.
We did a commentary for a movie. Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about that one?
Well, Slaughter Day, which is a VHS movie that Visual Vengeance put out. It's an hour, 55 minutes, I think, or 52 minutes.
But it's fun. It's a lot more fun than some of that other stuff they put out.
Yeah, it's in Hawaii in like early 90s, so you get to see what it looked like.
Is it shot on video or shot on?
Yeah, it's camcorder. I mean, it's more ambitious than the most. It's kind of an Evil Dead ripoff, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's almost like nonstop, like chase scenes and everything. It's fighting, and it's just insane. One movie I did watch is a found footage movie, which there's two of them, but I haven't only watched the first one. I think it's called Terror in the High Desert. It's got a sequel. That and the sequel are on Tubi, and it's really a straightforward, almost like kind of just like a new, almost documentary style about this guy who might be mentally challenged. It's never explained. At least he's awkward, and he likes to go out in the woods, and he films stuff of him going out there and doing different areas. And I think this is in like Nevada or Arizona, and he goes missing and stuff like that, of course. But he does this one video where he talks about this rundown shack that he went to, and he didn't want to go back there. He saw something and it scared him, so he never went back. So he goes missing. They have this big manhunt. They find a hand, I think.
Still attached to the camera.
Yeah. So they find the camera and they watch the footage, and doesn't really give all the explanations, but you see something there. It's okay. It's nothing, but I do appreciate the way it looked. It looked bigger budget than it did. I mean, I don't know if they had drone shots or they used some existing HD footage of like landscapes and stuff flying over.
So it's a newer film then.
It's 2021 and the sequel is 2023.
Oh shit. Okay.
But that's right. About it. I can't remember.
Are you thinking alien abduction or Blair Witch type shit?
No, I don't know what in the heck
I don't think it was either of those. The way, if you watch the movie, it does show a very suspicious entity.
Okay.
Or person that is probably responsible, but
that made Steve say, "Oh shit."
Well, it scared the shit out of me if I saw that in the middle of the woods. That's why I don't got in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night anymore.
Naked old lady or something.
No, that's good.
I don't even think I'd like to see this thing through the day.
No, I think it would look more fakey during the day though. But anyway, I don't want to spoil anything. I can't remember anything else.
You see what Rat Hammer's asking?
Yeah, that's just as much possible as in Cat o' Nine Tails with their chromosome bullcrap.
Yeah.
Argento's a genius.
Yeah, he makes up his own facts. So I guess we'll start with Dana taking over for her pick of "Don't Look Now."
Yeah, and
oh God,
you got the one I got, is it?
Yeah. Thanks to Uncle Bill, I was able to get this nice limited edition from Orbit DVD.
Yeah.
Y'all got the wrong movie.
Oh shit! I watched the wrong one.
Y'all watched the wrong movie.
Well, this has hot nudity and steam showers or something. So, but anyway, go ahead, Dana.
This has a pretty. I don't know.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I want to do that. This is the sex move where you go behind.
Yeah.
I don't know if he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, or
maybe that's what the director told him to do. I don't know.
I mean, go ahead.
That is kind of weird when he does that.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab mine.
Okay.
But I'll be back real quick.
Sure.
Okay. So I guess I'll go ahead and start talking about this. I don't think Steve liked this one, honestly, much better than he did the first one. Maybe slightly better, but I really enjoyed going back and watching it again. And, of course, it gave me an excuse to watch this 4K, which, for whatever reason, I've been putting off. But, Steve, okay, we've seen the
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to help.
Okay. But, so, we start out with Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie. I have a version that looks like that too.
This is the Criterion 4K. I'm just kind of wondering the differences between the two.
Well, I'll ask you, Dirk, did you notice, I mean, it looked good throughout. It looked pretty damn good. But did you notice any prominent grain, I guess, in the Criterion release?
Yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, I think they cleaned it up the best they could.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's the same scan, but I'm wondering if that one has more features than the Criterion. Because Criterion's loaded too,
Yeah,
it's got a documentary. It's around 40-some minutes, 30, 40 minutes.
It's got quite a bit of stuff on it. Right. I haven't really had a chance to dig into it yet.
It's got a lot of old stuff as well that was on the old
Right. Okay.
So you get, what do you get?
You got a fancy guy talking with long white hair talking about.
Yeah. He's on here too.
I think it's pretty much the same on the Criterion, most of the extras.
I'm just wondering if it'd be worth it for me to grab that one as well, but I don't know.
I mean, if you want like a super duper edition, this is the one to get.
Because you got a poster and a lobby card looking thing. What happened? Okay. I get it.
Maybe I can get it.
I mean, you got like a thick book as well.
Yeah.
Fairly thick book.
Okay.
Poster.
Is there a soundtrack with this, Darren?
I don't think so.
Okay.
There is. Yeah, there is actually.
Oh, there is? Okay. I couldn't remember.
I didn't even remember that.
I'm getting old, guys and gals, and my behind hurts when I sit in these computer
That's all you get
chairs
with this
too
one.
long. That one's pretty cool, though.
What the hell? It looks like a road map.
Yeah.
No,
I see.
I think it's that where the shot of it, the liquid running on
Yeah.
the
The slide.
slide.
Oh, right, yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
what that is. So anyway, you've got Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie, and they're a married couple. And I guess I asked Steve what Donald Sutherland's character, what his job was. I didn't know if he was an architect or what, but Steve said, I think he just helps restore old churches.
Right. Yeah.
So he's looking at slides and stuff, I guess, of a church, and she's screwing around doing something. I don't know what, doing some woman thing, I guess. I don't know. But their daughter and their son are out playing on this property. And the daughter, Christine, has a little red, raincoat, or Mike as they call it in the movie. And so my first thought was, I mean, I know people let their kids go play outside, but this was a very kind of looked desolate. It wasn't like there were neighbors all around or anything.
Yeah, they're
like
in
that.
very rural part of England, right?
Yeah,
London,
but-
yeah.
Yeah. And so they're in this big old house, preoccupied with whatever they're doing. And the little girl is running around with it looks like some kind of little army doll or something.
Like an action man, they used to call
Yeah,
him
yeah.
in the UK.
And she's also got a little red and white ball.
Yeah.
Which kind of reminded me of the Changeling a little
Yeah.
bit with
Yeah,
with the
definitely.
ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so she's running around playing, and then, oops, she drops her ball into this water. And of course, what's a little kid gonna do? They're gonna walk out in the water and try to get whatever it is that they've dropped. Kind of like Georgie with the little, paper boat and it that his brother made for him. When it goes in the storm drain, guess what? He wants to see if he can get it. So she ends up drowning, and Steve was like, I don't think she was in there long enough for her to drown. And I said, well, we don't know how much time has passed. This is a movie.
And we also don't know if something was pulling her down.
Yeah. I didn't think of that, Dirk, but yeah, that's
A certain something, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, this movie's very surreal
Yes.
anyway, so it's open for interpretation.
Yeah. I don't know if I would take any substances while I was watching this, because it might, freak you out even more.
Yeah, might
mind
run
altering.
screaming out the house or something.
Yeah, right.
But what's great about that scene is the fact that it's the first time you know that, or you think that there's something with Donald Pleasance. He's got second sight as well.
Yeah.
Um,
But he's a skeptic.
he's
Too.
a skeptic,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
just wants to
exactly.
deny it all the way through the film.
Right.
And that plays a major part. But again, with that scene as well, you've got a shot of the little girl running along, but it's done upside down, and it's an amazing shot. And the actual sounds of the action man just makes the whole thing really eerie, because it's in outside, it's bright, sunlight or whatever. It's just a great scene, that opening scene.
And that raincoat gives me, like, I can't help but think of Alice, Sweet Alice.
That's exactly what I told Steve. I said, this is, it's really similar to, and then when you get the reveal, which I don't know if I will reveal that or not, y'all can help me.
Yeah, I wouldn't reveal the ending, but Phenomena. It reminds me of Phenomena, the ending, in a way.
That I said that too. I told Steve, I said, there's a little bit of Phenomena in here as well.
Absolutely.
So, I totally agree with you guys about he's got second sight, obviously. Because there could be no other reason for him. Like, he's just going along, messing with the slides and stuff, and all of a sudden, it's like he thinks, my child's out there, something's wrong, and he just runs out of the house and just leaves his wife in there.
Yeah, and you notice she says, "What's wrong?" And he says, "Oh, nothing."
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. So the scene where he lifts her up out of the water, because the boy comes running up to him as he darts out of the house, and he's saying, "Dad, Dad." You know, he already knows something's wrong. So he runs down to the water. He pulls her. I mean, that scene seems to go on forever.
Yeah.
Of him going under the water to find her, lifting her out, and then it's not like a guttural scream comes out of his mouth. And in a way, I think it's worse.
It's like a grunt.
Well, he opens his mouth wide, and you would expect this excruciating scream to come out of his mouth because his daughter is around.
I think it's shock where, you just can't.
He just can't. And I think that was so much worse than if they had him go through some kind of screaming fit or something like that. And then you have to watch as he lifts her up, kind of drags her out of this water, and he tries to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on her. That doesn't work. And the only thing Steve could say is, she moved. Is she alive? And
I thought
said, Steve,
maybe she didn't die then, but I forgot,
But, so then after that, this is
you gotta mention the slide though, Dana.
Yeah.
The slide with the doesn't wine spill on it?
Wine spill.
Water. I thought it was water.
Or
right?
maybe it was
Right.
water.
Yeah, and it hits the picture. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it looks like blood though, the way it.
Yeah.
Right. Definitely
And
foreshadowing.
If you look closer, you can see. Like this.
In the picture, you see somebody in like a red coat.
Right. Yeah.
Sitting on a pew.
Yeah.
And then also he's got like a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Thing that's like angled like this. That comes into play later. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, so go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I like y'all interjecting the stuff in there. It helps keep me remembering stuff that I might have inadvertently forgot. But so the only thing about this movie that I think is kind of silly is when Julie Christie comes out of the house and she sees him with their dead daughter, and she just kind of, like, her reaction is just kind of, didn't y'all think it was extra bizarre? Like, she kind of, it's like somebody has come up behind her and scared her. She goes, like that, and it's just it's weird.
I don't know. I thought that worked well for the film.
I don't know,
because she's
that was-
generally like startled.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was just Julie Christie, the way she did it. I don't know, but that was the only thing I guess in the movie that did quite work for me. But then we fast forward to they're in Venice now, and Donald Sutherland is working on restoring another church.
Yeah.
And we find out that there are some murders going on in Venice, because there's one scene, and this is like, it doesn't really show blood or anything, but when they pull a woman out of the water, I just thought that was very, very creepy and gruesome. Just not real bloody. So you got that going on. You've still got the parents trying to deal with the death of their daughter, and then Julie Christie meets up with two sisters, one of whom is blind, and so she's super sensitive to things. She's, I guess, a psychic, essentially, and so they just come up and start talking to Julie Christie in the bathroom, because she offers to help them because the one sister's got something in her eye. The one that can see has got something in her eye. And the blind sister say, "Here, I'll help you, dear." And she's like, "No, I don't want you going and poking around in my eye again." So they start talking to her, and the blind sister tells her, "I've seen your daughter, and Christine, your daughter wants you to know that she's happy and all this stuff." So then Julie Christie's like, she goes back to Donald Sutherland. She said, "I've talked to these ladies and they tell me that Christine's fine, that she's here. And he's like, "Our daughter's dead,
Yeah, he's not trying to hear none of that. He's like, they're hacks, kind of like maybe they're trying to scam you out of money or something. He don't really know their angle, but
yeah. And he gets really angry at one point in the film when she still keeps talking about this, and he says, "Our daughter is dead, 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 dead." And I mean, this is the voice of a very heartbroken father. He cannot deal with this at all, and he doesn't need his wife, who he thinks is acting crazy. He doesn't need that, Steve. So I had forgotten that they left their son back in England, and he is in a school there, and they get word that he's had an accident, hit his head or something. So the mother goes, she says she's going to go back home to check on him, make sure he's all right, and then she will come back to Venice. Well, she supposedly has left. Donald Sutherland saw her off on the boat, and she's supposed to catch a flight to go back. And then later, he swears he sees her with those two old ladies. And he's confused. He doesn't understand. He's like, "I thought she left, And then he talks to her on the phone, and she says, "No, I'm here at our son's school." And he says, "But I saw you with those two sisters." So that's going to come into play, a little bit later. You just got to wait for it. You got to wait for it. And then it all falls into place. It all makes sense. I think what Steve was disappointed with, and I don't really want to talk out of turn, is there wasn't, I think he thought there wasn't enough going on. He said, "This isn't a giallo or anything." And I said, "But it's a good movie, though. I mean, it kept me going all the way through, and it had been a while since I had seen it last. And so it got me going all over again, watching this. And but one big thing, and this might be a weird thing to ask you guys, but did y'all hear the rumor that the sex scene between Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie, that there was actual sex going on?
Yeah, I heard that.
That was kind of well known for a long time.
Yeah, I saw though that they denied Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie denied that they had sex. So I don't know.
From what I saw, I believe them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you.
Yeah, but I'm talking about I'm not talking about that in particular.
I
know. There were
there was
scenes where, if they had wanted to, there could have been some penetration.
Sullivan was going, "Can I stick it in, Julie?"
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But that scene's there for a reason, man, because if you work it out, she gets pregnant during that scene.
Yeah.
And then, the ending comes into play when she says,
"It's also
darlings."
Also, all the grief that they're dealing with from the loss of the child, they kind of they come back together.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because in this film, you usually don't see that happen.
It's not.
When somebody loses a kid, they usually are so far apart. A lot of times they end up divorcing.
Yeah.
But it's this is the strongest couple I've ever seen on screen, almost, as far as having to deal with something very traumatic, But
I think the film ultimately is about loss, grief, and fate. No, if you're fated for something, there's nothing you can do about it. Obviously,
think it's also
he was
bad
getting
parenting.
warning signs. Yeah, well, yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah, neglect and like past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Not you can't escape your fate type of shit too.
Do you think his daughter was warning him though? What was to come, because there's so
Maybe.
many warnings for him throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then again, if it's fate,
he ignores them all.
Yeah,
He ignores all the signs.
That's where being a skeptic can turn out very bad for you if you don't allow yourself to believe in it at least a little bit.
Right.
But
I mean, what do you think of the score as well by Pino Donaggio?
Yeah, the score.
It's
The score is amazing. And here's something else: the atmosphere throughout that entire movie is fantastic, just fantastic. There's one of the final shots where Donald Sutherland is walking through these buildings and stuff, and there's just this thick mist.
Yeah,
it's kind of swirling around his legs, and I was like, that is amazing.
I mean, just all the back alleys in Venice, and you can go on like it's like a maze where because at one point they lose themselves, don't they? But all that, you got the creepiness of like these women going missing all the way through the film, being dragged out of the water. There's like a serial killer loose.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my favorite film easily.
The shot where the scene where Donald Sutherland's on the scaffold, and then he's got like this glass angled sideways, and it's almost like at the very beginning of the movie where he's got his magnifying glass looking at something.
Oh yeah.
And then that 2x4 comes crashing through. But so I heard that he had to actually do that stunt. Did y'all hear that? And his thing that was attached to safety wire or whatever snapped. So he actually is swinging around and shit during that scene, in real life, and he's like 40 feet above.
That kind of makes that scene more harrowing now,
because the stunt man didn't show up that day, or he refused to do the scene, and
I guess he was right.
Yeah.
Maybe he was psychic or something. He's like, I ain't getting up there.
But what do you think about, there's two characters in this film, and for me, they're as creepy as anything that's going on. And the one is the priest. If you notice, there's just something about him.
Something not right about him.
And he actually wakes up during because he must have second sight as well.
And he's sleeping in a closet.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on with that?
His bed is like a kid's bed or something. I mean, he must be a little man.
The room is so small, man.
I can touch the walls.
Yeah. And then you got the police officer as well. There's something off about him as well. The way I've seen him turn up in a few things actually, maybe in a Giallo film, but he's very creepy. Just very slow and methodical the way he's talking and he's drawing pictures.
At Donald Sutherland during when they're talking in his office, it's like, what is wrong with? I think I actually looked over at Steve and said, "What is wrong with this police guy? There's something wrong with him."
Yeah, he's looking out the window at the women walking by while they're telling them, that they could be the suspects or whatever, something along that. You know what I mean? That scene.
Yeah.
It's
but
very
you've got to
odd.
mention, if you mention this film, you've got to mention The Haunting of Julia. It's like a UK version of this. And Who Saw Her Die as well, which is done in Venice. Not the same as this, but I mean, it's definitely worth watching with this, I think.
There's another title to this movie too. It's called In Venice, A Shocking Red December. That's the Italian title.
So, they like long titles.
They like those long titles.
But this was from a book as well. Like Daphne du Maurier wrote the book.
Right, yeah.
She also wrote Hitchcock's Rebecca and the Birds. And I've read the book, and you can get an audio version. Yeah, it does. It really does.
Yeah.
There's like a radio play audio version as well that they played in the UK. But two different things from the book was the death of the child had already happened when the book starts, so they don't go into that. and basically the girl died of meningitis rather than in the water. That's basically the main two differences.
There's a lot of water shots too in the film.
Oh
like
yeah.
Oh
shit
yeah.
to do
Oh
with
yeah, it plays a massive part with
It's
the
so
rain.
weird because like that shit happens to their daughter, and then they go to Venice where that's all water all around them. Like
Yeah.
so
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like if that happened to me, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near any water.
I wouldn't take a bath forever. I would
That would
stink.
not be good, Steve.
Shit.
I would flush the toilet or anything.
Right. Yeah. Man,
I mean, my son went there a few years ago, only for like 4 days or something, and nothing's changed. It's just so eerie walking around, at night there.
Well, there was wasn't it this year over the summer or something? They had a drought and all the canals some of them dried up.
Oh, right, in Italy, yeah.
And that was, I mean, but other than that, I mean, obviously, it's gonna, unless they do something a big something, it's gonna be gone. It's gonna just crumble into the water.
I've always wondered about the buildings as well, where they must suffer from damp, because I don't know how they can live like that.
I don't know when it was, but it was a couple of years ago or something. They had a restaurant and people were sitting there eating, and there was like this much water on the floors.
Oh man!
Oh damn!
So, so everybody's
you gotta come in with your rain boots on.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. So yeah, it's probably like really damp, and
fish start swimming by you.
You get that smell of damp, mildew
and fish.
But did you realize as well that Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood were going to play the two leads in this?
Yes.
Which is quite eerie when you think about the way Natalie Wood died.
Yeah.
In the water.
Oh shit.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just can't say enough fantastic, great. This movie, everybody needs to see this movie.
Yeah. And it's one that, like, each time you watch it, you see different shit, like every time.
Yeah, because that's what happened with me, because it'd been a while since I watched it last. I was like,
been a while.
Oh man, I missed that, and now it's kind of seared into my brain now.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil it, but I don't know if y'all want to mention. I could just vaguely say something. There's a certain character that goes by his own or her own funeral.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of trippy,
Yeah.
That shot is amazing.
And also the lady, I'll just say the lady. What did y'all think about the ladies smiling at the end?
Oh yeah, that was bizarre. It kind of gave me cold chills.
Yeah.
A little bit.
With that one scene
right now.
Yeah.
Turn on the heater.
With the ladies, when the way they're laughing and all that, yeah, it does kind of make you think how they just, like you say, charlatan just putting it on. But there's certainly something in the fact that he is getting these messages. Or
I would say what I think, but I don't want to spoil the film, But
yeah, we got. It's at least got to be 50, 55 years before we can spoil a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should I say what I think?
I don't know. I mean, ain't it like what year did it come out? 72 or 70?
73. It come out.
Yes.
It played on a double bill with The Wicker Man. I know Dana doesn't not a big fan of The Wicker Man.
Jay says I need to watch that again.
Yeah, you need to watch it again.
Which cut though? There's like 4 cuts. So.
Well, we watched the ultimate cut.
Yeah.
Right.
With extra butt.
Oh yeah. Extra Christopher Lee, and
the musical version, probably.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
And he loves that movie. That's his
I would say
movie.
to Dana to give that a while, but go back to it because I felt the same. I thought I wouldn't like it.
If you don't like that one, I guess go try to watch the Nicolas Cage one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, the only reason that one is fun is just because he's just crazy. The whole thing
not the bees.
Yeah. But that's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination.
But yeah, I was gonna say, but it's up to you, Dana, if you want me to spoil it or not. But
I mean,
you could give a warning, like
just
tell
say,
people to switch off now.
Yeah, they can.
Come back next time if you
Well,
don't
they
hear
can
a
walk away
50-year-old
or
movie being spoiled.
Yeah.
But if I had never saw it, I would suggest not being spoiled.
So
Yeah,
if you
because
haven't seen this movie, you might want to walk away, and we'll let Dirk spoil it.
come back in like 5 minutes or something.
Okay. Cool.
Go.
Well,
Spoil.
it's spoiler warning now.
Boop, boop.
You need to put
Final
something
warning.
on the screen.
I would if I could.
But so at the end scene when she's trying to get to him, and there's a gate there, she can't get through the gate, and she says, "My darlings," and at that moment he's getting killed at the same time when she's saying that.
Yeah.
And then at the end when she's smiling, I interpreted it like that he's with the daughter now, and
so
it's why she's smiling.
Peace.
Yeah, that's how I see it. But
yeah, I didn't understand that when that happened. I was like,
my darlings.
Yeah, I was like, what is that?
Yeah, I knew that she was talking about both of them. Her husband and her daughter.
I think it's definitely talking about the daughter. But what the film doesn't say is obviously what happens later. I believe she was pregnant, and I think that's why she got a sense of like, you know, when on the badge at the end, she's kind of content. She you know, it's her husband's funeral and all that, but I mean, she's kind of got a smile on her face.
So it also raises the question: was he already dead when he seen the funeral?
That's the big question. Yeah.
You know, was he already?
I kind of thought about that too. You know, was he already dead?
Yeah.
Or was it just a vision? You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions with the film, so it's. I mean, I love films like this, man. Ambiguous films. It's like probably one of my favorite things.
I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's so creepy, that ending.
Yeah.
If you see it first time and you just don't know that ending, I mean, that just.
It's so odd, though. It really
is. It's the way it's shot.
Like, you're not expecting that shit.
No. But what a fantastic film. I mean, I grew up with this. This was played on UK TV all the time. Even now I play it more than I've played any other film. I play it 2, 3, 4 times a year sometimes. And it comes up on telly again, and I won't turn it off. I'll just carry on watching it. But
he's got another movie that I watched recently called Cold Heaven.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Nowhere near this. It's
there. Nicholas Rowe. He made this one movie that I think he was married to Teresa Russell for a long time, and then it's this movie called Bad Timing.
And
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah,
it's got Art Garfunkel, the singer, is in it.
Shit.
And the movie I can't recall some specifics since it's been a while seen it. Either she's a drug addict or something, but anyway, she looks really good in that movie, and I really, I've got a copy of it somewhere, but it's not revisited. But that's a pretty decent movie if you can get behind Art Garfunkel.
Bad Timing. I know a lot of his. He deals with time a lot in his films, and people dying and the afterlife, supernatural type stuff. But Cold Heaven, I would recommend.
Any of you heard the commentary track on it?
I haven't yet. I need to.
The guy is so like articulate. The director, he's passed away now. I think a year or two ago, but it's worth because he's got so much knowledge on that commentary track. It's amazing. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm hesitant to even listen to good commentaries or great commentaries because sometimes it shatters the illusion. It shatters all of our how we perceive the film.
Right. Kind of influences your opinion.
Yeah.
But he's kind of straight talking as well. He's not one of these guys that just flap about. He just says it how it is, and you know, I won't spoil it, but there's a good few things on that worth listening to.
We're gonna
watch pretty romantic.
We're gonna watch that on Valentine's Day, Dana.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there's so much in that film, man.
Yeah, it's so crazy too because the actor, you would not believe who the actor is, like the way he looks in real life, and the way they make him look.
he done the thing with his eye. He trained his eye to go fucking to the side.
Yeah, one goes that. He got the wonky eye thing going. You know,
But
I can do that.
Yeah, for about a split second.
yeah.
But all the women in that film are like 50, 60, and they're really bad. But I mean, if you watch a documentary as well, they were as well. You know, they were really bad.
They're like they look
They're
like they had a shower for like 2 months. And
honestly, his place is just but it's like I can't get over enough that it's like watching a documentary. And the violence is just as if it's just a normal everyday occurrence, the way he starts just beating up these women for no reason. Some parts me and Dirk was laughing when you shouldn't, but I think there's that element as well. I think it's so disturbing. I urge the both of you to watch it. Honestly.
I'll probably end up watching it next weekend.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah.
I want to know how long Dana can last before she
want to watch.
I'll put the timer on and then.
And then do the documentary as well.
That's what I want to watch, the documentary.
Yeah. It was one of Gizmo's picks as well. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess you got Criterion and you got the Studio Canal versions if you want to people want to look it up.
Yeah, but I just think that this, as Darren said, this is the ultimate edition. Now, if you don't want to spend the money on it,
you can buy Dana's other copy of it.
Well, here's the mistake Dana made. I might as well go ahead and talk about the mistake I made while we're talking about this. Steve, you think that's funny?
No, I'm holding.
Okay, so when Uncle Bill was on one of my streams and he was talking about this version, and I said, I'm going to go buy that from Orbit right now. Yeah, I did. Right.
And you bought? No, you did. You bought the wrong one. I
bought the wrong one.
Right now.
And then when I got it in, I was like, "That's not the one Uncle Bill had."
That's how you.
So I went and got the one that I wanted, but now I have this other copy around. So if somebody wants a copy, I wanted to try to make a deal with CK that I would make him a trade. He could give me that funeral home.
He's not going to give you.
Are you trying to sell this one?
Yeah, what copy is it?
No,
have you got it at hand or?
Hold on just a second. Let me go grab it.
Okay. This one here you can get for $24.
And that's the 4K?
Yep. During the Criterion sale.
Oh yeah.
That's when I got it.
I think it depends how much you like it. I think if you do really like the film, just go for the best one.
Yeah, if you need some real shiny cardboard and
poster and all that.
This is pretty much this is the diet version of the.
It doesn't have all the bells and whistles.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah.
Which is the most important part is the actual movie.
The disc itself
versus the reproduction black and white cards that are in it, but
Right.
Now,
I'm sure someone will want it, so just you put it out there now.
So you can flip that thing. Throw it on eBay or something.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
So it's my turn again, I think. So I think Dirk's got the Savage Gun set. So we'll watch the first Western we've ever covered is For the Apocalypse, which is a really good one. And I've been holding off watching that, and so
cool.
So we'll check that out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. Because I was just saying that I'm fixing to crack that open and watch it anyway. So
I watched. Have you watched any of the others?
I haven't even cracked it open yet.
Oh,
no.
There's one called El Puro or something like that in it.
Is that the one with Rosalva?
Rosalva Neri's in it.
Oh shit! Hell yeah.
Yeah, and but it is like so laid back. It's like holy shit! This guy is the main character who's supposed to be the gunfighter. All he does is get drunk. He's thrown out of a bar, and the bad guys actually are the ones who get the most stuff to do, the most character development, and all this stuff. It's just weird how the story goes, but anyway, I won't spoil anything in it. But it's just I don't know. I find it very strange.
No, I'm hoping that most of them are good.
Yeah, I know For the Apocalypse is good. Obviously, it's not a standard spaghetti western. But to me, it's one of Fulci's most, without going into depth like we will next time. It's got the most emotional content in it as far as the characters and everything. It's almost like if you watch this and watch like City of the Living Dead, you would not believe the same guy directed both. There's just no way. But we'll get into that.
Do you know if
more.
that's available on Realist? Because I haven't got the physical copy. I should be able to get it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. I think I've seen it on there.
No, Darren, you got to buy the Savage Gun.
Yeah. I mean, if it's good, I'll get it just for that film alone. But yeah, I'll probably watch it.
Just messing with you.
Yeah,
I know.
I would be very, very surprised if within 6 months they don't release those titles individually, like they do with everything else.
Right.
But I guess that's it for now. Thanks for everybody coming in. I know it didn't put a link out. We had like 19 currently watching, so
cool.
Not too bad. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for the Apocalypse.
Right.
So thank you, and I'll see you guys later.
Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.
Boom.